Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Thank you very, very much. Hey guys, I just wanted to first of all share you an amazing story. Many of you may have known that I was actual general manager of Harvey Norman. And I was general manager of Harvey Norman, which is this global retailer now, which is in Slovenia, New Zealand, the Philippines, Ireland, and they're about $10 billion now in turnover. Very successful company. And I just wanted to share you a story because this is the essence of what I'm talking about today. Way back when I was general manager of Harvey Norman Computers, Harvey Norman Computers in 1990 was considered a joke. It was considered a department that no one ever wanted to be in. It was the smallest single division of Harvey Norman. It was considered to be, we're not really going to sell computers through retail stores, are we? Because at that stage in 1990, every single computer was sold through a dealer. So the whole idea of buying a personal computer through a retail outlet was not only foreign to the customer, but was incredibly foreign to the suppliers. The suppliers hated the idea of actually doing business with a retailer because we were quite large even at that stage from a purchasing perspective, and they wanted to control all the power. So they preferred to deal with 4,000 small individual retailers, okay, because they could control them. But to control a retailer, especially Harvey Norman Discounts, who were aggressive and assertive, that was yucky. Now, I want to share this story because it's an interesting story. When we started computers, we didn't have any brand names. You know what computers we could sell? The only computers that we could sell are the ones that people would give us. And at that stage, they were really powerful brands that you probably now have heard of. Things like Commodore, VIC-20s, Commodore 64s. Has anybody heard of those? Okay, Atari, okay, Amstrad, Olivetti, Triumph Adler. Powerhouses, you would say, of computer retailing. Far from it. And I knew that if we wanted to be successful in computers, we actually had to have the big brand names. And in 1990, there were 3 big brand names that dominated the computer industry. They were Compaq, IBM, and Apple. And I knew that if we could get all those 3 on our shelves, we would be the dominant retailer because no one else had them. Now, I'm going to talk to you today about how to emotionally seduce people. I want to show you a real-life example of what occurred here. In 1993, we brought on Compaq, which is now, I think, got taken over by Hewlett-Packard. As soon as we brought on Compaq, the first advertisement, and I had been knocking on IBM's door for about 4 years. The first time we actually did an advertisement in the newspaper promoting Compaq computers, all that I did is I tore out that newspaper ad and I sent a letter to the managing director of IBM saying this could be you. The next day, he rang up and said, let's do a deal. What do you think happened there? Was that logical? It was pure emotion. Here you have a managing director of one of Australia's largest companies who threw logic out the window and actually realized that he was buying emotionally. And I then learnt the true essence of selling, of marketing, has got little to do with logic. It has everything to do with emotion. And I came to this amazing conclusion that if I wanted to be a great leader, it's not about my IQ, it's about my EQ. Now, what I'd like to do in this presentation, and I can't do it justice, I want to unpack some of the secrets and ideas that I have used over many, many years of selling to actually persuade people to say yes. Now, you're probably asking the question, Gattari, is this manipulation? Absolutely. Because I think the fundamental difference between manipulation and persuasion has got nothing to do with tactics. It's got everything to do with intent. If your intent is to help people, then let's call that persuasion. And every great politician, every great speaker, every great leader has always had the gift of persuasion. You just have to look at people like Steve Jobs. But I think the principles are the same, the tactics are the same. And what I wanted to do is just unpack what they do instinctively so you are better prepared to understand the emotional triggers for yourself. So when you're about to buy something, you go, oh, I know what's going on here. And essentially, how to read people instinctively, okay, and understand what their hot buttons are. So my presentation is how to sell more by understanding how people buy. Now, the first slide I want to go through is a very simple slide, but it's a very important slide. And I actually believe it's the essence of marketing too, because I think marketing and sales, especially in a small business, actually combine together. I don't think you can separate them in silos, because I think they fundamentally do a very similar role. But essentially, the way I would look at it is that every creature that we come into contact with has what I consider to be a bank account. And I think every creature that I've ever met, my role is to try to, in a sales role, is to try to withdraw from that bank account. Makes obvious sense. But I don't think you can withdraw from a bank account until you've actually deposited money into a bank account. Would that be correct? It's pretty obvious. It's like, wow, yeah, of course, that is 100% correct. And here is the essence. The essence of what I'm about to talk to you about is essentially my role in selling and marketing to you is to first deposit emotionally, because we're emotional creatures, into your bank account. And what I'm doing is I'm earning the right to make the withdrawal. And the greatest thing, if you can master this, you never have to close a sale, because the prospect says, where do we go from here? Now, what you'll find in a lot of people, and I unfortunately have seen this a lot in corporate world, is they try to make the withdrawal way too early. They try to use some sort of slick sales tool, sales language, or they use techniques that are less than honourable, like scarcity, we've only got 2 left, all of these techniques that you've actually seen. Because what they're essentially trying to do is they're trying to make the withdrawal way too early. And we live in a society now where the consumer is incredibly well educated and is very wary of techniques that have been around since the 1950s. The other alternative is, and I've seen this also, in people that think they're not in sales, but they truly are in sales. Sometimes entrepreneurs are guilty of this, is they deposit emotionally brilliant. I mean, they are so good at depositing emotionally into people's lives, and guess what they never do? Never ask for the order. Why do you think that could be? Any suggestions? Why don't we ask for the order? Any ideas? Fear? Fear of what? Rejection. Okay, yeah, fear of rejection is a big one. Any other reasons why? Yeah, can't deliver. I've also noticed that some people have this incredibly...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.